My silver dealer called me up and asked if I was interested in a bag of old nickels for 20 bucks. Shot me a picture, and I said, you know what? I'll be right there. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure, and welcome back to the channel. Got a couple of rolls of what appears to contain some buffalo nickels, plus some loose nickels, and I did see some Liberty Head V nickels. I also saw some corroded coins, and there's even a few Jefferson nickels that I saw that might be the silver kind. So for 20 bucks, we'll see if it's a good deal. Just off the top here, if we have two full rolls, that's 80 buffalo nickels. Maybe there's another 20 in there. Call it 100 buffalo nickels. 100 buffalo nickels alone, even at a quarter a piece, is about 25 bucks. But if they're dateless, then that's no good. And then we have some Liberty Head V nickels, and those are probably about $1 each if they're in decent condition. So I think $20 is a pretty good deal on this bag. He shot me a picture ahead of time, and I'll tell you ahead of time as well, I have made one alteration to this. Originally, this nickel roll was mostly full, and what I did was I just grabbed some loose buffalo nickels, tucked them in there, and reclosed it because the end of this had opened up and wanted it to contain the right amount in there, or at least close to the right amount. So I did just grab a handful of buffalo nickels, put them in there, and close the end up for those that are wondering why that roll looks like it's been altered. But outside of doing that, I have not looked at any dates. I have not looked at any other coins. I just know that we have a couple of rolls plus some loose ones. And for this hunt, my plan is to separate the coins by Jefferson nickels, buffalo nickels, and Liberty Head V nickels. And after we do that, we'll go through them one by one off camera, and I'll go ahead and get them sorted by year and mint if there's different mints. And then, of course, we'll check for any possible varieties. Now, I don't think there's regular Jefferson nickels in here. The few that I did see appeared to be silver ones, but you never know. I've talked long enough. We're 2 minutes into the video. It's time for me to dump out this bag, and let's go through them and see what we got. All right. No silver splash here. Just wanted to get a quick look at some of these really corroded coins. You know, that's a 1919 Philadelphia, but it's got a lot of corrosion. Here's a V nickel, 1912. And there is a mint mark. That's a Denver. You know what? I don't have my scope hooked up. Let me turn my scope on to confirm, but I believe that's a Denver. And while we're here, I think that's an 1895. We'll have to see. And then what else? This one right here. Look at this. That's a San Francisco minted 1945 war nickel. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, that's a Jefferson. That is a Denver minted war nickel, if you could call it that. That's in the worst possible shape. I don't even think there's anything coming back from that. But that is a silver nickel. Look at this. 1869 shield nickel. We'll take that. So there's an assortment of goodies in here. 36. All right, we can't go through the whole thing, but just off of first glance, looks like we have a couple of decent coins. Looks like that we have some silver Jefferson nickels, some V nickels, and some buffalo nickels, and there it is, shield nickel. So, all right, pretty good start. Let me go ahead now, get my camera set up, confirm that this is a 1912 Denver. My eyesight is bad. Yeah, that looks like it's a Denver. That's the more common one versus the San Francisco, but I'll confirm that. And let me go ahead and get this sort done on these first, then I'll bring it back, then we'll dump out some of the rolls. All right, I'm back with just a quick update. We're saving the buffalo nickels to be sorted with those. So just what's on the board, starting from the most modern. We have 5 Jefferson silver wartime nickels, 3 43Ps, a 45S, and a unknown Denver. And yeah, the condition of these are all melt for sure, melt value. Maybe slightly more on something like this. Maybe. No, that's terrible. So just melt on these. And I don't know what melt goes for today. $1 something. But that's still pretty good. Either way, we got $5 or $6 in silver right there. We'll take that. Moving on up. Next, we have the Liberty Head V nickels because we're not doing the buffalo nickels. We've got pretty good assortment here. Looks like it was from someone's album or collection. We've got an 1895. I did confirm that for the best of my ability. You guys can see it right there, 1895. Thought it could have been a 3, but 99% sure that's an 1895. Pretty rough condition, so no extra value there. 1901, 02, 03, 4, 25s, 26s, and 09, 410s, 311s, 31912s, and confirmed. This is most certainly a 1912 Denver, as you can see right there. So, you know, Liberty Head V nickels like these are about $1 each, maybe a couple of bucks for ones that are in slightly better condition. But for the most part, we'll just call them $1 each. And if we add all that up, we got 3, 6, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 of those. So I would say we got $21 in V nickels guaranteed. Another, call it even $1 each, $5 there. That's already 26. And then we had the Shield nickel, 1869. It's pretty common. It's got decent detail, but it's got corrosion. So maybe a couple of bucks there. So we're already around 30 bucks just in older nickels. And we still have the rolls and the loose Buffalo nickels to go. Now, I have not even opened up or added to this roll. This is the one that I put a few more on the side. There's possibility, now that I think about it, could have maybe stuck a Jefferson in there. We'll have to see, but we'll open that up here in a second. We'll open up this one last. Matter of fact, I'll just open this off camera. I'll dump it out. I'll get the sort going on these. I'll get those put away, and we'll see if we have any better date Buffaloes, and if not, if we have any varieties or if we have anything else in these rolls outside of Buffalo nickels. I'll be back in just a second when I've got that dumped out and sorted. All right, I am back. First wrapper unraveled, and a lot of dateless Buffaloes were in there with no mint marks, and we had a bunch of 1913 no date, but you can tell they're 1913 regardless, even though you can see this one because of the raised mound in the back. None of them have a mint mark, of course, so all type 1 1913s, basically all dateless. Couple of teens ones, 1915s Ps, 2 1919s, and then a pretty good assortment down here so far from 26 to 1937. We have another roll to do, and these rolls are pretty easy to open. I don't know if I could do this one-handed for you guys, but they just unravel for the most part. And let's see if I can get this done one-handed without having to get the overhead brought up. I think I can if I'm just careful. Yeah. So they just unwrap like this. Kind of cool. And then inside, those have been in there for a while. You can tell all the edges are uniform gray. I'm hoping they're not all dateless. Let me just grab something out of the middle here and see what we got. Looks like there's going to be a lot more of these dateless ones, unfortunately. I might be able to get a date on that one, but if I put it under the scope, we've got no mint mark that we can see. And all right, we might be able to get a date on that one. That looks like it's going to be 1920 something, maybe 1928. I think I see the 2 here and then the side of the 8. But we'll see. A lot of these ones in these rolls have been, oh, we've got a Jefferson nickel. Was not expecting that. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign that they're going to be dateless and have Jefferson nickels in here. But you know what? We're already okay based on the other finds. Could just be a random one, but yeah, not seeing mint marks on these. And we could do some diagnostics, but if I don't have mint marks on most of these, I'll be back here in a minute, and I'll just add these Philadelphia dateless ones to my need to Nic-A-Date rolls down the road. I've done a video on that already. And for those that don't know where that video is, I'll put a quick link up here, but excuse me. Let me go ahead and finish this up. I'll be back with a recap of the finds from this hunt. Well, I am back with the final update, but as a quick update to the update, I've already checked for all the major varieties. Obviously, any 3-legged varieties for the 37D, 36D. Check for the 35P double die reverse. Check for anything that I could see and make out. We ended up with a ton of dateless Philadelphia minted Buffalo nickels in that roll. We had some here as well that have Denver mint marks. And then we even had 3 Nic-A-Dated ones to boot. So that most of this roll was pretty junky. Coincidentally, we found the 62 Denver while I was looking at it live. It ended up being the only Jefferson nickel in there. So this roll right here, this nicer roll, was a bust overall. Mostly Nic-A-Dated, dateless, and a Jefferson nickel. So not too many good finds in there. We added some stuff to the board. Quick recap. We got 4 1913 type 1s, 2 1915P, 2 1919P, 2 1920Ps, a 23P, 2 26Ps, a terrible 27p with a 27 Denver, 3 28ps, 4 29ps, and 2 29 Denvers, 3 1930 Phillies, and a decent 1930 San Francisco, except for the back. 134, a handful of 35s, 36s, and 37s, handful of 36 Denvers. We did get more San Francisco minted Buffalo nickels other than 1930. We got the 35S and the 36S, which I'll take. 37 Denver and no 1938 Denver. So based on what I see here, other than a handful of these ones from the later 30s looking decent, there really isn't anything super nice in here. Nothing that will upgrade my personal collection. But you know what? I will add those to my dateless Buffalo nickels. I'll make a new jar again for my ones that don't have mint marks because I've already gone through all those. We'll spend that at the bank. Don't need that. And I made a nice V-nickel starter lot for somebody with 15 different ones capped by a damaged 1895 and a damaged 1912 Denver, but the rest in the middle are pretty nice overall. Honestly, we didn't really make a ton of money or a bunch of scores on this lot. I mean, like I said earlier, we got about $30 at the top here in overall value. And then down here, based on what I see with a lot of dateless ones, probably another $15 to $20 in value. I say it's a $50 at best bag, and we paid $20 for it, and I'll take it all day, every day. Hopefully you guys thought it was a fun hunt despite it being a little bit short on the grapevines, but you know what? We still had fun going through it, and that's all that matters. If you did, please give me that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.